Hello again, welcome to another edition of CropLife Retail Week. I have a feeling this one might be a little rough. We bantered for about 15 minutes and I don't know.
That's all right.
Like
we do have news to talk about, though. So.
We do. Do you want to start?
Sure, I can start.
Sure.
One thing, Paul, always is important this time of year. We try to get a read on what net farmer income is going to be for the upcoming growing season. And based on the projections from USDA, we're looking at about $69.4 billion for growers here in 2019. What's interesting, Paul, is this is going to be the third time since 2015 that the income is going to be below $70 billion for the nation's growers. And a lot of people watch the market are wondering if this is going to be the new normal now versus the $100 billion figures that we were seeing back in 2013 and 14.
Yeah, it's a huge concern. I saw too that there was something that came out from on the standards for ethanol.
Oh, right, the E15 year-round, yes.
E15 year-round, which could influence corn use and corn prices. And
correct.
So a lot of moving parts in terms of the crop.
Yeah, and obviously the corn growers did come out. National corn growers came out in favor of E15 year-round, and pretty much, Secretary Sonny Perdue talked about that as well at the Commodity Classic show in Orlando a few weeks ago.
Yeah, so a few things falling in favor, maybe, possibly.
And you've been following some things going on in D.C., correct?
Yeah, and the next thing that falls in line is the Pesticide Registration Improvement Act. I think I got that right. PREA.
PREA.
I know CropLife America's, the association's been working on for a long time, but it is officially signed by Trump, which should help to streamline and improve the registration process. It makes things a little bit clearer and transparent in terms of costs, in terms of process. So hopefully this will just streamline. I mean, it's an already robust process in a lot of ways. It's really just kind of taking the red tape out of it and making things clearer to the companies in terms of what they need to do and registering products, which we obviously desperately need. So as I said, the process is already robust. Let's figure out ways to make it go faster so we can get some of these products in the market.
It'd be interesting. Well, speaking of President Trump, I know the administration actually proposed its budget for the year to Congress this past week. And one of the things that was in there that I guess surprised the agricultural community is some of the cuts that are going to be made or proposed to be made to farm subsidies and crop insurance. I'll read from the statement from the American Soybean Association, talking about the cuts would total $28 billion over 10 years, and that would directly impact soy growers in several ways. The majority of those savings would come from a portion of farmers' crop insurance premiums covered by taxpayers that would be reduced from 62% down to 48%. So obviously I know the soybean folks said that this would negatively impact their members. And are waiting to see what ultimately will happen. But I know, Paul, I've read that members of Congress are saying that this budget is pretty much DOA, dead on arrival, and probably will not make it through Congress's approval process. So we may see some revisions to this going forward throughout the next few months.
Yeah, I assume it's all part of kind of laying the framework of, I guess, the Republican standby that you don't spend, you don't give money to the government, you don't have to, and they start with cutting everything,
right,
and then
work back from
from that point. So we'll see what ultimately happens. You can't. I mean, you have to watch it closely, but you can't necessarily think it's going to the worst is going to happen. The truth is going to be somewhere on the continuum of nothing and everything.
Yeah.
But everything has been thrown on the table. Literally everything.
And we'll see what remains when it's all said and done.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. So next week I'm heading to the World Agri-Tech Investment Summit. I never say that right. It's something okay. Like that.
Yes.
It's in San Francisco. It's actually got a lot of really interesting characters from traditional ag and new players. But I think the really interesting thing is that they really are looking at the segments that are most likely to be affected. and most likely to show a step change using technology. And they've got some great guys, great folks on the docket.
Such as whom?
Well, my friend Teddy Beckley from Winfield.
Okay.
He's among the panelists. Chris Patterson from Zarvio. There's a panel that's focused on crop protection. There's one on robotics. But again, people I would consider a little more closer to the ground as opposed to way up here. I mean, it's still got quite a bit of new technology and startups that they're going to be talking to. But there's also, I think, quite a bit of honor to, okay, we need to suss out the technologies that are actually going to work.
Okay.
So it's interesting. We'll see what's said. I mean, the sessions it's funny because the sessions are about 30 to 45 minutes, and there are 5 people on the panel, so it's going to be
wow, that's tight.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Here's the next guy, and it's going to be one after another. So we'll see how much they actually get to say.
Well, the one good thing about that, Paul, is I know when I've been in those roundtable discussion meetings before in the past, and I've had my camera with me, I'm able to get video, and a little 5-minute segment is pretty easy to record on the camera. Hint, hint.
That's true. You might see some of those next week.
Or
maybe
2 weeks.
Or maybe in 2 weeks. I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
But yeah, I'll have to grab some of those. So I'm on the road. Say you're off next week. So again, we'll
have a video for you on something.
We'll
figure it out between now and when next week rolls around. So just stay tuned.
Absolutely. And that's it for this edition of CropLife Retail Week. We'll see you next week. If you have questions or comments about today's episode of Retail Week, contact us by email or Twitter, or type your message in the comment section below.
Your feedback is important to us. We'll try our best to address your thoughts in next week's episode.
And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.